Once you've got your emergency cash and planned spending ring-fenced, but losing value to inflation each year, it follows that everything else should be invested to beat inflation over the long run. Many people invest their money to get the best returns possible, and the financial services industry encourages this because it helps them sell more products. However, within a financial plan, it's essential that your assets are aligned to support your lifestyle. In this video, I'm outlining a few key considerations for your assets that need to be included in any financial plan before you start considering where to invest. And they are setting up an emergency fund, understand the different roles that savings and investments play, and what to think about before you invest. Right, let's get into it. The army has a saying, no battle plan survives first engagement with the enemy. And this is true of financial plans too. They need to be able to cope with less favourable scenarios. The first thing to consider is an emergency fund. Conventional wisdom suggests holding capital equivalent to 3 to 6 months' income that can be accessed at short notice. However, in my experience, a more reasonable amount should be what feels comfortable to you. Some people are accustomed to having large amounts of cash on hand, while mathematically this might be considered less than optimal because cash will lose value to inflation over time. Emotionally, it might be reassuring for you. This peace of mind should always be considered. For those in work, I typically suggest a minimum of at least 6 months net salary. This ensures you can continue to fund your current lifestyle for at least 6 months should you be unable to work or lose your job, giving you a comfortable period to recover or find a new role. And if you do work, you should also know what benefits your employer provides, if any, if you're unable to work for an extended period of time. Now, after ring fencing your emergency fund, consider what planned expenditure above normal income you may require in the next 3 to 5 years. This might be the cost of that dream holiday, a home extension, support to buy a property or a wedding. This money should be kept safe too. Perhaps fixed term deposits might provide a better return if you can tie it up for longer. These holdings can be used for funding expenses that exceed normal income. Once cash holdings to cover emergencies and low-risk holdings for planned expenditure in the next 3 to 5 years are in place, it follows that everything else should be invested to beat inflation. The cash you hold to cover emergencies and planned expenditure will inevitably lose value to inflation over time, and that's okay. Its job is to give you the peace of mind that you can maintain your standard of living and meet your planned spending if disaster strikes or the markets go down. So once you've got your emergency cash and planned spending ring-fenced, but losing value to inflation each year, it follows that everything else should be invested to beat inflation over the long run. Longer-term funds can be invested to achieve a higher return, depending on your personal risk tolerances, to provide wealth for retirement income or funding bucket list expenditure. There may be other specific objectives, such as children's weddings, a dream holiday at retirement, or university funding for the grandchildren that need a more detailed planning approach to be considered. For example, you need to know the cost in today's terms, the anticipated inflation that may apply. Some things typically rise faster than CPI or RPI. When the money is required, can you wait longer if you don't have enough? Could you take more investment risk to get there sooner if the markets work with you, or are you comfortable waiting longer if the markets move against you? Once you know the target value and the assumed rate of returns on your investments, you can then calculate how much you need to save. If you have a specific budget, you can calculate the returns required and therefore the level of risk you need to take with your investments. Now, how confident are you about your financial future? If you haven't completed it already, our financial planning scorecard will give you some invaluable insight on the progress you've made so far. You can measure it in less than 2 minutes. Scan the QR code here or click on the scorecard link in the description. It's completely free and you don't even need to share any of your personal details to get your score. But if you want to, there's the option of sharing your score directly with me in case you want to find out how I might be able to help you with improving your planning for your financial future. Let me know in the comments if the scorecard helped you and what changes it has inspired you to implement. Now we're looking to grow this channel so more people like you can find our content on YouTube. It'd be great if you could hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell to let YouTube know that you rate this content, but also so you don't miss out on our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.